are. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, motorsport fans all over the world, all racing fans. We are here live from Cologne at Toyota because we have a very special event for you. Pushing the limits, as you could read before. My name is Julia Joston and I will be your host for today. And why are we here today? Because we want to celebrate a very remarkable and successful partnership between DENSO and Toyota as they are continue to pushing the limits all the time. As you can see in motorsport, victory after victory. WEC season has just started in March. So it started Sebring, then Portimao, now Spa. And what can I say? Toyota first. Yeah, that's good. And all the petrol heads amongst you, they know what comes next. It's a 24 hours race in Le Mans. Wow. Okay. I got goosebumps. I mean, I think I'm not allowed to do it, but I do it. Yeah. I mean, this is the car from last year. It finished a second. I love it. We're going to talk about it a bit more later. Le Mans 100th anniversary this year. I mean, already that is a reason to celebrate. But on top of that, DENSO, the world's largest car supplier, is having its 50th anniversary in Europe this year. So two good reasons. You know it, a never good party killed nobody. So we want to dive into the history of Le Mans, a TGR's history in Le Mans. We want to talk about technical insights, hybrid cars, and of course, I want to talk with the drivers who we have here today. So we start with our guests. So please welcome with me the Senior Director Research and Development of DENSO, Mr. Masashi Kiyono. Please also welcome with me the General Manager Motorsport Engineering from Gazoo Racing, Mr. Masaya Kaji. And as I said, our champions, WEC champions and Le Mans winners, Mike Conway and José María López. You all know him as Pichito. I don't want to miss that out. Okay. And last but not least, there's also one person who would have loved to be here today, who was scheduled, but he couldn't make it. But he sent a video message, and this is from the CEO of DENSO International Europe, from Yasushi Mukai, and here are his greetings.
DENSO's history of contributing to Japanese motorsports date back to the 1960s. And over the years, DENSO systems and components have been vital to the success of the Toyota Gazoo racing team and to the overall acceleration of motorsports. When the Toyota 7 competed in the Japanese Grand Prix in 1968, it ran that race equipped with a DENSO fuel injection system. And in 1987, when the Toyota 87C was introduced to compete in the 24 Hours of Le Mans World Endurance Championship, it did so with DENSO components enhancing its performance. Motorsports provide the perfect breeding ground for future automotive developments. It gives new meaning to the concept of automotive performance, pushing both racing driver and racing car to the limit of speed, endurance, durability, and reliability. Some of DENSO's core electrification technologies, such as the hybrid ECU, motor generator, and inverter, played a significant role in the World Endurance Championship, contributing to 5 consecutive Toyota Gazoo racing wins in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. DENSO technologies that are tried and tested under the extreme conditions of racing are frequently tailored to suit our customers' requirements. So this exciting sport also pushes the limit of the mobility field, enabling us to offer long-term solutions for industry and society's evolving needs. 2023 marks DENSO's 50th anniversary here in Europe. 50 years ago, DENSO entered into the European market because we knew that to achieve our potential as a global automotive technology supplier, we needed to work closely with the best and the most renowned of Europe's car makers. After 5 decades, our regional presence has grown to 27 companies in 14 countries in Europe. As we take pride in half a century of active contribution to the European automotive industry, we also celebrate the excellent collaboration between DENSO and the Toyota racing team since 1965, and we are extremely excited to ride side by side with Toyota GR010 Racing once again as they push to dominate the Centenary Race of the 24 Hours of Le Mans this June. Together, we race to victory, powered by the DENSO and Toyota GR010 Race teams' exceptional talent, determination, commitment to quality, and pioneering technologies that change the way the world moves.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mukai, for these kind words and the message. And before we go on, I would like to draw your attention to something very, very nice, because you can win some stuff during this show, which is here, our merchandising products. So we got caps, we got drinking bottles, we got cars. All of that, of course, is signed by our drivers. So don't miss that out. So I will explain you later after the show how it works. Just wanted to mention it. So now we want to dive a little bit into history. Let's go on a little journey, the spirit of Le Mans, so you get a feeling for it. And of course, we want to have a look a bit closer to Toyota's motorsport history at Le Mans.
Toyota has spent a decade of hoeing hybrid technology at the pinnacle of endurance racing, learning, developing, growing, sometimes suffering together, and of course, also celebrating together, but always fighting together as one team. However, nobody could have imagined the journey ahead of us when our first hybrid LMP1 car hit the track. Endurance racing is a real tough discipline, and the competition is fierce, creating ever better cars through the World Endurance Championship. Begun with drama, but of course also victories. A new car in 2014, with Toyota setting new standards in hybrid technology. The TS040 dominates the season and sets Toyota onto the road for World Championship double. But Le Mans is Le Mans. It is an absolute cruel mistress. From the high of pole position to the drama in the wet and the agony of technical failure when we were leading so comfortably. Victories soon followed to ease the pain and strengthen the team spirit. As new champions, we were on top of the world going into the new 2015 season. But never write off Audi or Porsche. The development race accelerated, and our TS040 fell behind. New technologies and new ideas were needed. A flat-out effort between Higashi Fuji and Cologne pushed the boundaries of hybrid technology, of aerodynamics, of lightweight engineering. and the TS050 Hybrid was born. In its first Le Mans, it became a legend.
It's stopping! It's stopping! There's going to be a lead change on the start-finish line.
But for the wrong reasons.
There is a new leader.
A moment which we never forget. Unforgettable reactions was received from the motorsport community. It warmed our hearts, but it made our determination even stronger. A glittering season and a big prize twice. They called it the super season. We called it mission accomplished. The farewell tour of the T050 Hybrid brought down the curtains of such an amazing LMP1 era. There was no better way to celebrate than with a third consecutive Le Mans victory. So the sweat, our tears, our sleepless nights, it all paid off once again. However, when one era ends, a new one begins. Welcome, hypercar. Welcome, GR010 Hybrid. Sometimes very challenging, sometimes surprising, but always intense. 6 victories from 6 races made a perfect start into the new era. And now, our 10th season in the WEC. What new excitement and challenges await. Join us for the ride.
Yes, Alexander Woods just said mission accomplished, so that's a nice thing. Mission accomplished. Did you that in 2021? Like, you know, when you crossed the line, can you still remember the feeling when you won Le Mans?
Yeah, I do. And watching that video brings back a lot of emotions. So, yeah, you can tell over the years, like, how long it took Car 7 to get the victory. And it was really sweet when we got it. It was just, yeah, so many emotions built up over the years. And it all comes flooding out once you cross that line. So, yeah, really special moment. And myself, José, and Conway have lots of good memories over that one.
What was the first word you were shouting out? Yes, we did it, or you gave him a kiss?
Yeah, I gave him a big hug, for sure. Big hug and a kiss. It was hard to get words out because you kind of just, you know, emotions flowing. So, but then after that, yeah, we're shouting and, you know, lots of words to each other. So it was great memory and still fond memories, and it still feels like it wasn't long ago.
Yeah, José, so Camus, he was driving the last stint. So I was wondering, what is harder, to drive the last stint or maybe to watch it as a driver from the box?
Yeah, okay. First of all, hello to everyone. And yeah, I mean, I've been on both sides, I would say. I finished the race a couple of times in Le Mans. Unfortunately, not at the right position, but yeah, in 2021 I was outside, and I have to say, it felt like it was 40-hour race.
Oh my God!
It was long. As Mike said, we had some challenging years, and this first victory took a bit, and it was really emotional. And to be outside, yeah, we're crossing the fingers. As yeah, you all know, also Le Mans can become quite cruel, and we experienced that as a team as well many times. So. Yeah, until the last second, you have to be there watching and expecting the car to cross the finish line, and then of course you explode.
So last year with this car, you finished second. I mean, your sister car, Car 8, was first. I mean, at least in the family. But how hard was that?
Well, as you say, of course, it is a team, and in the end of the day, we were happy to get the victory for the team and 1-2. You know, after. So many hours of work, of all of people, you know, endurance testing, nights, not sleeping. As a Car 7, of course, we were challenging the victory. We were close. We were leading at one point, and I was in the car, and we had an issue. And it is hard at the end, but you know, it's racing.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that we recovered from that and we bounced back and we finished quite close to Car 8 as well. So it was a good race.
Yeah, if you take a closer look at last year's race at Le Mans and the year before, where do you see the differences?
I mean, I think even though Le Mans is still that 24-hour period, there's so much that can go on in those 24 hours. So each race is something new, something different, some unexpected things, and your stints can vary massively between the drivers in terms of weather, situations out there, safety cars, all these things. So each one's unique and different. It's hard to compare them, to be honest. But obviously, when you win, it always feels nice, and you forget any niggly little things you may have had in the race, and you just focus on the good stuff. But it's just one of those ones where it's hard. If you finish second, it's hard to take, but it's all the sweeter for getting the reward if you win.
Yeah, it's like new year, a new chance. Yeah. So if you're looking at last year's race, is there anything what had impact for you to this year? Something you learned about where you say, oh...
You always learn many things, whether it's the racing, tires, or things we did with setup with the car. There's lots of areas you can always feel like you can improve. And then it kind of gets reset again when we go there in a week's time. So, I think we're prepared as we can be. And it's a case of getting on track now and let it loose.
Yeah, I mean, you say it like very cool, next week, then there is Le Mans. I mean, I'm wondering whether you're maybe nervous. It's like the 100th anniversary in Le Mans. What does it mean for you personally?
Well, personally, and I think I speak for all of us, I mean, it's a very... Le Mans is already special, always. I mean, we work, from the beginning, always for Le Mans, It's a long championship, but Le Mans, everyone wants to win it, everyone wants to experience it, and this year, being the 100th anniversary is going to be even more special, with more competitors as well. So it's the race that everyone wants to win. So of course it's special.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a full house party. Like many manufacturers came back to Le Mans. So, I mean, does that make it even more special for you?
It does. I mean, I think from the first moment this year when we rolled out the pit lane in Sebring and all the other cars were there in the pit lane with us, I was like, okay, this is a different feeling now. So, I think once we get to Le Mans, it's going to be even more special. I think the fans are really excited about it. I wish I could get more tickets for my friends, but it got sold out so quick, and that just shows you how popular the fans are. Really eager to be there and to experience the 100th. So we're excited too.
Yeah, totally. And where would they sleep? Because I heard that all the hotels, like 100 kilometers, they're booked out already.
I think if they found a piece of glass, they'd be happy enough if they could get in the door. Yeah.
That's good. For someone who has never been at Le Mans, can't make it this year, can you describe the atmosphere a bit?
It's hard to describe if you're not there. You get a bit of a conception of it on the TV, but to be there and feel the energy, I think, it's like being at a concert. Like you can listen to the CD, but when you're there, like, feeling the music, and it's the same thing at a racetrack, you feel the cars going around, you hear the noise, the energy, and it builds and builds, and you have the start of the race, you get through the night as well. It's different emotions, and you have to say, like, even for us down the back straight at 3 a.m., we can smell the barbecues going, and we're like, I'm hungry now, I want to come in. Yeah. So it's really cool. Yeah, I have to say, you got to go. You got to experience it yourself. Just to watch on TV is not enough. So, if you're lucky enough to get a ticket, then it's going to be cool.
We are invited. That's how I understand it.
For sure, but other people out there. Yeah.
So Toyota, as we said, top favorite. I mean, 5 times in a row title. How big is the pressure? I mean, are you a bit more nervous than the years before? You two can answer that. We start with you.
Well, I mean, I think I feel the same. I think the pressure is always there. Responsibility as well is always there to perform, to do the job done as well as a driver, as a team. It's part of the sport, it's part of life, and we prepare. We've done all the tests we had to do. We went through the procedures. We started well the year, and I mean there is a sentence that says Le Mans will allow you to win, and you will not. I mean, Le Mans will choose you.
Yeah.
So in the end of the day, with the experience we have and everything, we know that we have to do our job and expect the best, hope the best, but expecting also the worst sometimes. So we see. Let's hope it's the one.
Yeah, it's a bit like before you finish, you first have to finish, And,
yes, for sure. It's a long race. So
yeah. Let's talk about preparation. I mean, apart from like the car and all the technical bit, but do you do like a special fitness program or mental program or special diet the weeks before?
Don't sleep for 1 week.
Yeah,
That's
good.
What we do. No. I mean, we are all quite into sport, and we do a lot of preparation always. For myself, I try to don't change many things. I try to keep it the same with my routines and be prepared. Of course, rest and arrive very relaxed, which is very important because once Le Mans starts, it feels like the days flies and you get the feeling that you get a little bit more tired every day. So you need to sleep as much as you can and prepare. I love sport. I do tons of hours in the bike and I go to the gym and physically speaking and mentally we prepare for it.
Mm-hmm. How do you deal with this like enormous physical stress, like stamina, G-force? I mean, controlling the strength of a car. I mean, how do you do it?
I think there's nothing better than driving the car itself. All the hours we do testing, the endurance testing, like that really gets you dialed in. But in between times, as Jose said, a lot of time on the bicycle and the gym and all these things. And preparing as well in the background simulator, not just for us, but the engineers as well. They get their time to go through procedures, things like that with the car. So we do as much as we can, try and tick all the boxes. And we hope that when we get to Le Mans, it's all ready and just down to executing.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine like adrenaline is flowing all the time,
Yeah.
So that means you have to maintain a very high heart rate. How do you do that? How do you deal with that?
I think years of driving cars, you get used to it. But I still feel like you have to maintain and train and keep yourself sharp. Otherwise, it's easy to fall off a bit. So it's still a constant preparation. It doesn't matter how many times you've done it. I still feel like, I still need to go through certain things to make sure I feel ready and prepared, and I think we're all feeling good.
I mean, Le Mans is not only physical stress, but let's call it also like a mental endurance race, I'd say. How do you deal with the emotions? I mean, you're in the car and then you think, oh shit, or oh yeah. I mean, how do you do it? I mean, you're Argentinian, huh?
It's definitely, I think, more mental than physical sometimes. You jump out of the car, you need to be able to disconnect a little bit, but at the same time you're also connected, knowing what's going on, what's been the changes that the driver has been doing in the car. Then jumping in the car again, you need to switch on straight away. And I always give us an example in the night. Like maybe you go there a bit and you jump in the car, you don't see much, but then suddenly you go out and you are 350 kph in the straight line with lights everywhere and you need to brake, and it's a shock.
Yeah.
It's a shock. But as Mike said, it's many years doing it and it kind of like you get used to it, but it's always I would say it's a shock. You need to be ready for it.
Yeah. Are you ready for the shock? I mean, how do you deal with the mental stress?
I think so.
Or you get a trainer?
Yeah,
I mean, you got mental trainers?
Yeah, we are.
I guess over the years we kind of mentally prepare ourselves. We might have worked with some people and taken some bits that we thought were good and other things that we do kind of prepare ourselves for it. So, but like I said, nothing like driving the car and the test days that we get, the build up before the race itself starts. We get the night sessions, we get the day sessions, we get different tire compounds. We really kind of get ourselves pretty dialed in there as well and into the track, so that when it's go time, we should be ready and dialed in. But as Jose said, there's moments in the race where you get launched out on track and you're instantly in a fight with 2-3 cars and you've only just left the pit lane. So
it's like being in a tunnel. No?
Yeah, exactly. And you can be prepared, but for those things, sometimes you're just launched in it and you gotta just get stuck in.
Yeah, just keep it flowing. In other words, I mean, also the distraction to handle. I think that's pretty tough. Like press, fans, huge paddock, friends, whatever. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with that? Because you have to be 100% focused.
Yeah, not too bad really. I can switch off fairly quickly out of the car and just relax with friends. But at the same time, you're constantly thinking in the background about the race and the situation. So yeah, it's good to have a little moment as well away from it. If you get 20 minutes just to sit with a friend and chat, you know, switch off a little bit if you can, and then you're straight back into it. Otherwise, this can be quite stressful, and you may not sleep between your stints. So
yeah. Well, sleep is a good word. I mean, do you sleep during the race? I mean, obviously, when you're not in the car, can you sleep?
I try. I mean, I think it's my 6th Le Mans, or I've tried many times. So it's just
impossible.
Just close the eyes and relax a little bit. But of course, when you're in the fight, when you're fighting for the lead, I mean, you want to listen what is going on. You want to, you know, sometimes you have this guy speaking on the speakers loud on the track, and sometimes he screams, and you're like, what happened?
And you're like, huh.
You go to see the screen, and yeah, I mean, at the same time, you have the drivers are preparing to go in the car, so it's difficult. I mean, we know it's very important. We try, we try, and we try to relax as much as we can, because at the end of the day, when you get to the final hours, you can really feel like you're tired, you know. And it could be, and you can feel it on the car as well sometimes. So it's very important. Yeah.
How many coffees would you have then if you can't sleep?
I mean, it's a 24-hour race, but yeah, a lot. I like coffee already, so I say like 10 coffees at least.
Do you have any special rituals, like, you know, you step in the car with this hand first or that foot first, or you touch it before, stroke it, I don't know, you give him a hug?
Yeah, we hug each other a lot. Good or bad, we hug each other a lot. So. Not too many rituals. I used to, I think, when I was younger, but no special underpants or anything like that. No special meals, really. Kind of just keep it to the basics. I normally don't drink coffee on the Saturday at all. And then Sunday, maybe I'll allow myself one. Just because I don't want to get in a bad rhythm of sleep or stuff like that. So I'd say apart from that, not too much. Try and relax, not overthink it, and just... Very behaved.
Yeah,
I try.
I mean, if I had to describe it, this car in Toyota Gazoo Racing for the last 5 years, I mean, this is like a Swiss watch, yeah? I mean, what is the success story? What's the secret of the car from your point of view?
I mean, dedication, hours of work, and many years of working, you know? I mean, you see the car like this, but there is so many people working behind, so many people that with a lot of experience, bringing the experience to the car and preparing and making sure that everything is right for the good time, for the racing and everything. So there is a lot of work and dedication, I would say, and of course talent. You gotta have talent and passion, you know, definitely.
So you are unbeatable. This car is unbeatable this year. What do you think?
Yeah, so far it's been a great start to the season. 3 wins on the trot. We'll try and make as many as we can this year. But yeah, we know competition is very tough. We've got some really close competitors, and I think they're evolving as much as we are in terms of learning our car a bit more and trying to get more lap time out of the car. So yeah, I think another weekend we're going to go into Le Mans and learn a bit more about each other. But hopefully we can still keep the upper hand and bring home another one. That's the plan.
Yeah, let's ask the technical experts here. Mr. Kaji, so we've learned now quite a lot. What do you think? What was your most memorable season?
Yeah, for me, the most memorable season was 2017. After the nightmare of 2016, when the car stopped 3 minutes before the 24 hours, we vowed to beat the rivals and work harder. And in 2017, we went into the race with three cars, but all 3 cars had troubles, and one of the cars broke the component that I was in charge of designing myself at the time. So it was very frustrating and shameful for me as an engineer, but and because we hate to lose. Yeah, of course the 2018 the car 8 won Le Mans first time, and 2021 the car 7 won Le Mans. Very impressive for me as well.
Mr. Kiyono, what did you think when Toyota decided to come back to WEC?
In the past, we DENSO developed mainly engine product. from 1985 to 1999, and competed Le Mans with Toyota. And after that, Toyota stopped joining Le Mans for a while. So when I heard that the Toyota is returning back to Le Mans, I was very happy. But at the same time, I was a little bit worried because the DENSO has provided a new hybrid system. And we have developed this system since 2006. And we did it very, very carefully. But as everybody knows, no one knows what happens in the real race. Mm-hmm. So that's why we really wanted to see to the end. This was the situation, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, just to sum it up a little bit, so you came back, then you had tough years, as we say, learning and development years, and then 2018-19, Japanese car won in Le Mans, yeah? And in 2021, you started with hybrid cars and the hypercars. So I'll start with you again. I mean, you were driving in, both of you were driving in so many series, like you started in kart. I think you started when you were 18. That was quite rare, I think, yeah?
I started also quite early.
Also quite early, okay. So, and then you did, I don't know, all the Formula Series and IndyCar. So if you had to compare all the other cars in the series to this car, what's the difference in driving?
Yeah, driven many cars, I guess. But when I got the chance to first drive with Toyota in 2014 and experience a real hybrid car, like 1,000 horsepower, I was kind of blown away, to be honest with you. It was like nothing I'd ever driven before. Something that really sat me back in my seat. I think Formula One cars were very impressive with their acceleration. But yeah, this car really was like, wow, this is where I want to stay for a while. This is really cool. So, okay. And ever since then, it's maintained the hybrid with the car. It's changed some different evolutions, and yeah, it's still special now. It's a really cool car, and I think the whole series is gaining momentum, and it's kind of is what it is today. And we've stuck in there through the harder times as well, and kept developing. And that's true. All credit to all our partners and the team and everyone back in Japan to keep pushing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
José, so you spent quite a while in touring sport, a 3-time WTTC champion. So that was quite a jump. I think these are like 400 or 500 PS more, I guess.
Yeah,
so did you a bit more even?
Yeah.
So did you have to change your driving behavior completely, or how did you deal with that?
Well, I mean, yeah. Before doing touring cars, I was, of course, in GP2. GP3, Formula 3000, and even testing Formula 1. So then when I stopped and went to touring cars, physically speaking, of course, you degrade a bit, if you call it like this. And then when I jumped again in this car with G-force, a lot of horsepower, I had to readapt again and train a lot. And it was, yes, quite of a shock, I would say. But the same as Mike, I loved it. And I was in the place I always wanted to be, and I felt like it kind of filled up the fact that I didn't make it to Formula One, and I said like, yeah, this is what it gives me what I want. So it was quite nice, yeah.
Okay, so you two, thank you very much for now, but we'll see you later. You are allowed to relax a little bit. Unfortunately, not me. There are your chairs, so thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm coming back to you. So, as always, DreamWork makes the team work. So I'd like to talk a bit now about the team side, the engineer side. What are the features, Mr. Kaji, a hybrid car has to have, and what is the biggest challenge there?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was to manage the huge electric power with small components that developed with DENSO in the vehicle. So let's have a look at the video summarizing the hybrid technology.
Yeah, quite some figures there in the end, which I was just reading on the screen. So, Mr. Kiyono, what kind of support has DENSO provided then?
DENSO has been developing and supplying the various hybrid products, such as motor generators, inverters, and the ECU, as well as the spark plugs, since Toyota's TS030 in 2012. And in fact, DENSO has a long history of the involvement of with motorsports, having evolved its technological development through the motorsports since 1960s. We have prepared a video for the history. Please look at this.
Yeah, unbelievable. So much DENSO, so many things I didn't know. So before we keep on talking, I again want to pay your attention to our merchandising products, which you can win at the end of this show. I will let you know how that works. So we got the caps, the drinking bottles, the little Le Mans car, whatever. So I think for any motorsport fan, that's pretty cool. So as I said, I saw many car parts, but for racing cars. Now I'd be very interested, where's the difference in producing a racing car towards a mass productive car?
Well, as you can easily imagine, the specification which is required for the race car and mass production vehicle is completely different. So therefore, what we are doing and what we will do is that to feed back the technologies which we gained from the development of the race to the mass production, so that we can really make a high quality product for both race and mass production. And please watch the video to see the technological development for the motorsports and our effort.
In rallies, vehicles drive on various roads around the world, including rough unpaved roads, asphalt-paved winding mountain passes where drivers must drive fast, and frozen roads covered with fresh snow. In endurance races, vehicles must be driven for 24 hours on circuits under extreme conditions. In both types of races, exceptional reliability and durability are required. Even if a vehicle meets the required performance, a breakdown means no podium place. we must always compete with rivals in development too. To win, we must constantly change for each race. Fast development is the key. For example, many of our products, including motor generators, inverters, and ECUs, are used for WEC. DENSO engineers travel with the WEC team. We analyze the ECU data on site and keep the developers informed of the situation. We study the ECU control methods and update the software to improve the performance and durability. Toyota believes that ものづくり or manufacturing depends on human resource development, and racing events are an excellent opportunity to develop those resources. For example, vehicle cooling was an issue at WRC. Starting with measures against vibration of radiator, we ensured manufacturing with an accuracy of 100 mm and conducted wind tunnel tests using an actual vehicle with Toyota. Engineers worked closely with the manufacturing staff to achieve perfect manufacturing. At racing events, we practice Genchi Genbutsu and swift decision making. We have achieved good results at both WC and WRC, helping motivate project members and develop human resources. Motorsports also offer opportunities to take on the challenge of developing technologies for the future. In general, motorsports are often considered to involve gas-guzzling vehicles. Recently, efforts have been made to realize carbon neutrality by introducing carbon-neutral fuels and offering new options such as electrification and hydrogen engines. DENSO continues to develop and improve electrification technologies such as motor generators and inverters defined through participation in WEC, as well as hydrogen injectors and spark plugs for hydrogen engines.
Yes, so as we see in the video, engineers and manufacturers have to work side by side together. You always have to be on time. You have to work very precisely to get the success. Mr. Kaji, how difficult was that? Explain us a little bit about it.
Yep. There's a very strict, tense atmosphere, both in the manufacturing site and the racing field. And once the parts are shipped from the manufacturing site, they are faced with very strict environmental condition. And the racing field needs 100% quality and performance. And racing field requires the world's best performance and the world's best technology. And if any problem occurs, immediate decision must be made in a minute or in a second.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's a lot of pressure on that. I'm coming back to you. I'm going to my Argentinian and UK champion corner. So you guys come with me again. Hello, yes. This is the, how do you say, the chauffeur service. Good. So we heard a lot about technique. José, if you had just 3 words to describe this car, let me know.
3 words for José.
Fast, performance, and amazing.
Hey, wow, you did it.
Yeah.
What are your 3 words?
Pushing the limits, right? That's our slogan.
Oh, hey, here's the new marketing guy from TOYOTA GR010 Racing, Mr. Mike Conway. So I heard what people told me, there is like the triple, what you have also in football. Of course, you also have it in motorsports, which means you want to win Formula 1 Monaco, you want to win Indy 500 and Le Mans. You kind of won the small triple, like, you know, you won GP2, Monaco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Indy 500. No, Le Mans, not Indy 500.
Yeah.
So there's one missing. So it's a small crown.
Yeah, I tried Indy 500. I failed many times, so I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, there is that triple crown. I think Fernando Alonso as well was going for that one. So
it's only one guy, Graham Hill.
Hill, I think he achieved it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, pretty cool if you can manage that. I think 3 pretty different disciplines. So yeah, but not on my radar really. I'll stick to sports cars and what I'm good at.
Let's talk about the track, the special Le Mans track. Do you have a favorite part there where you say, wow,
yeah, definitely say the last part of the circuit.
When you win.
No, I mean the high-speed last part of the circuit is, I'm not going to say the name.
How quick are you? How quick are you there? Like 350?
Yeah, it's quick. It's a combination of, it's high-speed corners, change of direction, and you can really feel the downforce of the car, and when you lean on the tires, the stress you put on the car, on you also as well. It's a nice part of the circuit. And sometimes, you smell the barbecue there.
Okay, so you're hungry.
Yeah, I'm from Argentina, so I like,
Yeah, of course. What's the most difficult part in Le Mans?
The start can be tricky because, loads of cars, all bright-eyed, heading down into turn 1, which is quite a kink before you get to turn 2, 3. So that can be pretty hairy. But the night section, I would say, the 3 hours stint that you do in the night is normally the hardest. Then you get out and you feel more drained than you did the previous one. So it just takes more out of you. A lot more focus and more stuff going on. Even dust that flies up kind of looks like rain. And
take me kind of in the cockpit, because I mean, how many meters do you see at night? Like visibility must be.
Well, you can always see any tail lights. You can see for a long. So even when you come onto the Mulsanne, you can see one. Getting all the way down into Indianapolis nearly. So you can see tail lights pretty easy, but actually, what you see of the track is limited. You feel like you're only seeing like 50 meters in front.
15?
Really. 50.
Oh, 50, okay.
But then you approach it so quickly that it only feels like 10 meters sometimes.
Yeah.
So, you definitely see a lot less than you do in the day, but you just hope that it's still there.
Yeah.
So just turning where you think it is and it should be okay.
So when you sit in there, you really feel everything like the track. You must during night, yeah?
Yeah.
What is the solution? You can't break.
Just be awake. But the night is definitely the most important part of a race. You can win or lose the race very easy in the night. Yeah.
Is there anything comparable to Le Mans, you'd say?
I mean, from my experience,
yeah.
No. I think it's unique. It's a fantastic race, and that's why everyone, not only the ones that are racing on the series, but Formula One drivers, every driver around the world wants to race and win Le Mans. So it's very
the best drivers all over the world gather in Le Mans. So both of you were driving like single pilot cars. How difficult was it then to change to this car where you say, I have to drive with a team, I have 2 teammates? How challenging was that for you?
I think initially you've got to get rid of the whole, you initially just focus on yourself, how you want to drive and how you want to set up. And then you get used to developing yourself as a driver, adapting to more situations, so you can all drive a car balance that you like. So all 3 of us, typically, we have the same comments. There's not really one of us, unless there was something so different to the car when we drove. We've all got similar comments, so that's good. And you work more as a team, I feel like, with sports cars, because it's not only just me, José, and Camus in this car, it's also, Seb, Brennan, and Rio in the other car, and we talk between us all, and we're trying to develop the car as much as possible, all 6 of us. So it's a real team game, and I really like the atmosphere, and it's good fun. We have a lot of good fun in the background when we're not driving.
I can imagine.
And we push each other a lot in the car as hard as we can as well. So I think we've got a good balance of being really competitive, but good friends as well off track.
Yeah. Who's the boss in the end when it comes to the setup?
My wife. No, it's just as Mike said. It's a team. I mean, we don't We don't have someone that will. I mean, we all discuss a lot, and it's many hours. The track, the weather change, so it's like always readapting to that part of what you have to do. And in the end, we try to find the best compromise, and it's all about adapting as well. Adapting ourselves to what we have, because it can change very quickly. Like you say, you can be 4 p.m. like 30 degrees on track, and then you just jump in the night and it's 5 degrees, so it's completely different from what you drove before. So you need to adapt and have the tools which you prepare already in case of any scenario.
Yeah. So first thing, when you finish Le Mans, whether you win or not, what is the first thing you do? I mean, you must be super exhausted. I mean,
get a beer.
Get a beer. Okay, good.
A cold beer. It's a weird one. After Le Mans, it's such a long race. It's hard to eat too much food, and you're so tired, but then you can't even sleep.
Yeah.
Actually, you think you're going to sleep so well on the first night, but it ends up being quite a short one. So you're a bit disappointed that you don't sleep well, but I know I always like being at home with friends, family, and then catch up with a beer and a burger, fries, just kind of relax, veg out for a couple of days, enjoy it. And if you've had a good result, it seems to feel that magic moment until the next race, even like until the next year, I think.
How about you?
Well, the same as Mike. I think if you feel like you're jet lagged, you want to sleep, but you can't. You wake up in the middle of the night. You think that you have to jump in the car again. It's like, okay, no, it's finished. The
nightmare's over.
It gets. It takes like a week to just get used again to a normal life. And
so, do you dream all night long? Always, you're going
this have this nightmare. Like they waiting for you in the pit lane, that you're still sleeping. Oh no! Like, yeah.
What are your expectations for this year?
I mean, we always go in to expect to win. I think you have to, right? Otherwise, then you've not got the faith in your equipment and the team. So I feel like we've got a good chance to win. It's going to be a case of, as always, executing well and knowing that it's a long race. Don't get involved in any silly incidents, early on. And I think with some rule changes this year as well, with safety cars as well, it's going to really extend that period, making sure you've got a good car at the end. So I think, we're as prepared as we can be. Now it's just a few final bits of preparation. And as I said, it's nearly go time. So
how do you make yourself ready to win? Because, I mean, he really wants to win. You want to win. Everybody wants to win. How do you make yourself ready for that?
Try to, work and prepare as much as we can and be ready for any, as I said before, any scenario and perform and focus.
Still a lot of testing in the simulator now, or?
Yeah. We still have some work to do.
Okay. So that means you can relax for now for a couple of minutes. I'll be back with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I'm coming back to you. So as we heard, it's an enormous challenge to win it, but not only for a driver, also for the team. If we talk about the future, or think about the future, the collaboration, the partnership, I mean, how does it look like? WEC, WRC?
Yes, as a supplier, we are very, very much grateful to Toyota and for the wide range of that joint development for such kind of good cars. And we will be supporting WEC and WRC and also even hydrogen engines as well. And to be honest, I sometimes feel that we have difficulties. But I hope that DENSO will continue to evolve together with car manufacturer like Toyota and taking the challenge for the new technologies.
Well, in recent years, it has always, been a lot of pressure when it comes to sustainability and these topics. So making it carbon neutral. What is Toyota doing in that respect?
Toyota is taking a multiple pathway to achieve carbon neutrality, and so and we are practicing making ever better car, starting from motorsports. So in that context, electrification and hydrogen technology are very important to achieve the carbon neutrality as well, carbon neutral fuel. And DENSO and Toyota are challenging to achieve that, and together like a family.
Before I ask you, I just want to draw your attention once again to our nice products you can win at the end of the show, as we have showed it. So don't miss that. I will explain later how that works. So coming back to what is DENSO doing for all this process, I can imagine there's a lot going on in development and to make it a better planet.
Yes, we DENSO, we will declare ourselves as we are the professional that we will make it. That who makes things happen. Our goal is to work with our partners so that we can make our new things really happen. And watch the video with DENSO brand statement.
This world is full of achievements that haven't yet happened.
We haven't built a society where we can all move from place to place with no risks.
We haven't found a way to manufacture with zero CO2 emissions.
We haven't found a way to feed the entire world or build a robot that can work on the same level as a human.
When things we haven't achieved turn into things we have, these are the moments the world takes a step forward.
When the things we've achieved become the everyday.
That's where a better world awaits us.
Our goal is to work with our partners so we can make new things happen together. Because our world is full of achievements that haven't yet happened. And that's why we're here. Here at DENSO, we are professionals who make things happen.
Yeah, so it's not only about car parts, but also about QR codes, robots. So let's talk a bit more about the future. Do you see a robot fighting or racing against a race driver?
Yes.
Yes?
I think so. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And you?
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are my race drivers? Yeah, okay, good. Maybe you come back to me. I mean, for me, that's really hard to imagine, but like artificial intelligence and all that, like robots. Can you imagine driving against a robot in Le Mans? Or any other track?
We will definitely beat them. I mean,
of course.
It's clear.
It's clear, yeah. I mean, it's something is coming as well. So, yeah, I mean, of course, I believe it's, that the driver is something that connects the car with engineers and everything. And of course, it is unreplaceable, but in many other areas, it's a solution as well. You can have, and we've seen already a bit of sparks of what it can be in the future.
Yeah. I mean, ChatGPT, I put in the race, that's it, all the results,
Yeah, definitely.
But can you imagine driving against a robot?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, doesn't it, to say that now? But I guess hopefully not our era, right? We'll still have jobs. But yeah, it could happen at some point. But yeah, I guess, time will tell on that one.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I keep my fingers crossed still for the humans then. But so before this event, we were asking you to send us some questions for our Q&A session. So we've heard a lot now about the Toyota success story. We heard about a lot driving into Le Mans and a bit behind the scenes. So all the questions which I got here now from your fans are for you.
Okay.
So you can both always answer. What would be your dream job if you were not a racing driver?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, I'm living the dream. So, what's my next dream? I think love sports. So, yeah, any type of athletic role, would be fun. Or, fighter pilot maybe.
Oh,
that looks fun too.
F-16, yeah.
Yeah, living on the edge.
You?
Yeah, definitely be involved in any sport. I mean, I'm a sportman as well. Anything that would be sport, I would be into if it's not motorsport.
Okay, so and then again, they're super interested, as I was already asking you, how do you cope with all the added pressure now? 1 week till Le Mans, how do you deal with that?
I just cry every night. No, I just we are used to. sport is something that you need to deal with at a very young age, with the pressure and from yourself, from the big events like this. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just try to enjoy the moment and think that we are lucky to be in the place we are and try to enjoy, because you never know when it's going to be the last time. So, and then do your job and try to do the best you can. That's it.
Yeah, and you, what do you do in your leisure time?
I think, yeah, we do a lot of sports to keep ourselves busy in the leisure time. But yeah, I think the pressure side of racing, I think it's good to feel a little bit anyway, because I think it keeps you sharp, especially before the start of the race, getting that adrenaline going, and, you know, that's part of it. So even though it's there, we know for many years we've dealt with it, it's still nice to have a bit, it keeps you on your toes.
Also, many fans wanted to know whether you are doing something differently this year in comparison to last year, Le Mans?
No, in my case, I'm training the same, eating the same, sleeping the same hours. Yeah, I try to keep it there.
Winning, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, of course, yeah. That's something that you can't get used to it, you know? It's just always nice.
Yeah, same. Want to come home with a trophy and a watch, so I will be trying for that.
So then they said, so Le Mans only opened the track for the day. How do you train before? I mean, like in the last week, do you spend every day asking in the racing simulator, or how do you get yourself prepared?
We get prepared, mostly, on the simulator, where we don't have much time on track sessions, and actually this year a bit shorter as well. I think FP4 is going to be a bit shorter. So using the simulator as much as we can to get used to things, everything in the car, and have everything sorted out and on your brain as well, to just in case something comes out on the day, you solve it as quick as possible.
Do you have something, that's my question, like a little talisman, something what brings you luck? Do you have something like that?
No, I don't actually. No. No kind of weird things.
No.
Nothing. Yeah.
You? Yes.
I do have, but I'm not going to tell you.
Come on.
That's why it's lucky. I mean, can't say.
Puts his trousers on backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. It was very nice talking to you.
Thanks,
so I keep my fingers crossed for you for Le Mans. If I can't make it there, I'll watch it.
Okay.
And maybe, I don't know, we see us afterwards.
Car 7, right? Car 7.
Of course, Car 7. I've learned that
Team
now.
and Car 7.
And once again, so as I was mentioning, the nice merchandising products, and now you see the link in the YouTube channel. You click on it, you just have to register, and then we will let you know who won the caps, the drinking bottles, the cars, all signed by our drivers. Thank you very much, you two. It was very nice for these technical insights. Thank you. That's it. Have a great day, and we all keep our fingers crossed for Toyota Gazoo Racing, and see you soon. Bye-bye.